Hey everybody, great to have you back here in the fish tank. We're going through all of the alternative master perks that are available and we'll be landing in Minion Masters in 2.6. Today we're going to be looking at Milloween. Now if you missed the start of this series, there was a big long video where I went through all the different ones. Then we're making individual videos for each of them in practice. So today is going to be Milloween. And when we're talking about alternative master perks, this is the ability to give you a choice between two perks, and you can choose which one going forward in a match, and you can make that decision all the way up until that perk is actually unlocked. So let's remind ourselves what Milloween's alternative perk was. So this is an alternative for perk 2. The standard perk 2 is the arcane missiles, so this is the idea of this is to replace that, and you get the Xanian Spellbook. And the Xanian Spellbook is added to your deck every 20 seconds. And it gives you 4 random spells. You can choose one of them to cast, and the rest are discarded. And it costs you 2 less mana to make that cast. So, cheap spells, but random. Kind of interesting. Obviously, you're losing out on the arcane missiles, so you might want to build your deck with that in mind. But let's have a look at this in action. So I built just a quick, cheap Millow deck here. Not supposed to be good, just to allow us to test this out. So let's see how we get on. Right, so just a quick game against the bot. And remember, the way that you change the perk is you go down to the UI and you can see the 2 options there. We've got the arcane missiles, or we've got the Xanian Spellbook. Now, you can make that decision straight away. And as the match changes, you can go back to it, you can change your mind, all the way up until the moment that it actually gets unlocked. So we've selected our spellbook. Obviously that's not going to do anything until we get to perk 2, but we've set it ready to go. So the perk 1 is the golem. That's not going to change at all, the arcane golem. Perk 3 is just the bigger golem. Again, that's not going to change at all. It's just our perk 2. So we'll just casually hold the bridges here against the bot until we get that perk available. Remember, we do have the new bridge rules in effect as we speak. We're closing in on perk 2. It is a timed perk, so we'll see how that timer works out. Okay, so perk 2 is about to unlock. Okay, there we have our new spellbook. We use it, we get 4 random spells. So remember, we've got to quickly see what's going on. We've got Bridge Buddies, Arcane Bolt, Harmful Souls, and Future Present. Let's choose the Future Present. So what will happen is that Future Present will get replaced randomly with something else. But the rest of them will remain the same, as you'll see that when we get our next one. So the first 3 are the same. This time we've got the Breath. So it's kind of nice because you're going to have to take into account what you had, what you might get, what you might use, what you definitely don't want to use. Here I want to show something. So our spellbook's our next card, but then our golem pops, and the golem becomes our next card. Not a fan of that. I think the timer stuff that's added to your deck should be added in the order that they kind of happen. Maybe I'll report that back. The timer for the golem doesn't start until it dies, but the timer for the spellbook starts as soon as you open it. But there's no real stress that you have to make your decision as quickly as possible. So as mentioned, the remainder of the perks will remain exactly the same. Nothing's going to change with regards to those. That's pretty much all we want to show here. No need to complete the match. Right. So there we have Milloween's alternative perk 2, which is the replacement for the arcane missiles. You get the spellbook. Let me know, what do you think about it? Cheap spells are always good, but random spells? That's tricky. You could get some bad ones. You could get some good ones. And it's kind of interesting that you get the same as the previous time you use the spellbook, apart from the one you use, because if you remember correctly, you know what's coming up, you know what you may be able to get a lot of value out of. So those are the alt perks. Let me know what you think about this alt perk and all the other ones we're checking out, which are your favorite, which you want to try out, which you think are going to be a bit meh. And that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next one. Put the bell on, and crucially, make sure you select the bell for all notifications from the fish tank, not just personalized, because sometimes you'll miss them, and that makes us a sad fishy. Okay, I'm Bad as a Fish, and I'll see you again soon. Subscribe! Great to have you.